Alright, welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin and I'm back with another pick a card reading. This pick a card reading is going to be just the energy of your love life. I've made these really thick piles just to get as many details about what's going on in your love life as possible. I just really wanted to get into it and have that little reading and conversation, and then I also have this deck for extra messages and, you know, extra things. I'm also going to have my dice too, but if you're new to pick a card readings, what you're going to do is concentrate on the energy of these four piles. This is going to be pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4, and with that you just get to concentrate on the one that speaks to you, and if it doesn't resonate you can always pick another pile as well. But I'm going to let you do that for a second. Pause the video, maybe get something to drink, something to eat, a snack, get comfy, get cozy, and we're going to be back with pile number 1. Alright? Hello, pile number 1. Okay, let's get started with your reading. I already rolled the dice to get a little bit of like the main energy of what's going on. Oops, I got my stuff falling. So far we have the Pisces die, the 3rd house, and the South Node. I gotta be honest, I feel like your love life has been really draining lately. I feel like it's been taking a lot out of you. I feel like you've been putting yourself out there a lot, especially online, but you haven't been getting mature people, because we have the Prince of Wands here, and the Two of Wands here. And the Prince of Wands is always about like a kind of an immature energy, the type of energy where somebody is, you know, really excited and really passionate about something but doesn't necessarily have the skills to be able to go forth and do anything about it. So it's a little bit awkward, a little bit of an awkward energy. And then the Two of Wands is about moving forward with something. So I really feel like you've been really dealing with a lot of like immature people, a lot of people who are just not you know, necessarily up to your standards, and who come in really hard and fast and you know, really passionate, but just aren't the best people in general. And it's frustrating. It's been very frustrating for you. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the cards here. So I have the tarot cards here, which we have the Knight of Cups and the Four of Wands, and then I have these cards. This is going to represent the people in your life and the energy of your love life, the people in your life and what they're like, and this is going to represent your positive qualities and what you really bring to the table as far as a relationship wise and what someone might be liking about you. But let's get started with just these two cards. So the Knight of Cups is actually a good thing in a love reading. It usually means that someone is coming towards you with some kind of love offer. And with the Four of Wands, this talks about a celebration, being with friends, being with family. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if there's somebody outside of an online context that has been into you for a while who is like a friend, or someone who is more of a friend to you that you wouldn't necessarily expect to want you in that kind of way. So you're just kind of like, you know, maybe at some kind of celebration, a wedding, a graduation, or any kind of significant event, a birthday party, this person might be asking you out or telling you how they feel. It's a really beautiful energy. I actually really like the Knight of Cups. Is the Knight of Cups the most mature energy? No, it tends to be very romantic and very like swept away energy, so just be a little bit careful of that. But I definitely see that there are people who are into you. They're just not necessarily the most mature people, but like, let's see what else we have. Oh, okay, we're just talking about that, and this is one I made myself. Okay, so we have the Child, the Orphan. So this is someone in your life that is very childlike, but also might be very hyper independent. Like they want to be independent, and they're a little bit afraid to get close to other people because they feel like they've had to be alone their whole life. And I feel like they do feel very safe with you. We also have this artist card, so you might be interested in someone who's an artist, or someone who's an artist is interested in you, someone very artistic, which goes perfectly with the Knight of Cups energy, because the Knight of Cups is all about, you know, artisticness, you know, being very intuitive, you know, being able to go ahead and do some kind of art, which is necessarily like literally painting, but writing, painting, music, just has like an artistic talent. And then this one is the werewolf. Like I made this up for this deck, and this card to me is all about someone who is very connected to their friends, someone who is incredibly passionate. And again, this kind of goes into like, I really feel like this person is a friend to you, someone that you are friends with. Okay, this is someone who's in your life who really cares about you. And look, ignore my little chicken scratch, okay? I know my handwriting is not the best, but that is kind of how I feel. All right, and so these are kind of the things that this person might like about you. They find you alluring and compatible. And then we also have butt, so they might like your butt. They might really like the way that you look. But again, with this compatible and alluring, like I really do feel like this person is a friend, and you just have a friend that's really been checking you out, that you personally just have not been given the time of day. Just because you've been trying to date online and you've been trying to date strangers, which nothing wrong with that. But for you and your love life, I do feel like perhaps maybe dating someone who is a friend might be good for you. You might feel safer with them, they might feel safer with you, and you might feel a very different type of energy than you have been online. Let's see what's going on in your love life as far as the energy. So we have wait, the timing is not right, and then we also have self-care. So, and then let's see, the Spirit of Armor and the Spirit of the Book. Okay, so you do have people who are into you and interested in you, but I also feel like at this point in time in your life, you have kind of given up on the idea of being with someone. You've kind of given up on a little bit, like you're dating, you're putting yourself out there, but you also have armor, and like you're kind of defending yourself against anyone. So you have to ask yourself, are you really ready to be in a real relationship right now? Are you really ready to date and to put yourself out there? Are you really ready to do all of these things? Because right now you might need to be doing self-care, dealing with yourself, being able to feel good about yourself, being able to kind of clear out anything that you have with someone else, if you are still hung up on an ex, or even childhood wounds that might be preventing you from finding someone that is a really good fit for you. It may not be the best timing. It's like you have options, but are they really what you want to be doing right now? And you know, also with the Spirit of the Book, this is about unfinished business and like needing to get past one thing to go to another. So I do feel like there are wounds with you, group number one. There are things with you, group number one, that might be preventing you from being able to have that relationship that you've been looking for a while. And often, you know, when we leave those wounds unchecked, we tend to attract like weird people or people who are not the most mature. Now, this isn't to say that if someone is in your life and they do you dirty, that they're not personally responsible for their actions, but rather we tend to ignore certain red flags about people when we have stuff going on with ourselves. So I do think that you might have that going on, and that healing might be something that's really important for you to do. And that doesn't necessarily look like never ever dating again, but maybe right now, while you feel like you have to defend yourself against love, is not the best time to try to be in a relationship, but rather maybe the time to kind of date and be casual and be fun, and also deal with yourself, you know, do that self-care and remove any blockages that might be blocking you from finding the type of relationship that would be best for you. Let's see what else we have. Okay, we have improvement, home changing, shifts, changes, and wants to reconnect. So yeah, like maybe part of this process of you becoming a better person, a better version of yourself, is to have some improvements and within yourself, as well as maybe changing your environment. Maybe it's moving, maybe it's just making your living situation just better. Because I can even tell you from personal experience, like little things can go such a long way when it comes to making improvements in your life. Like me cleaning my room when I haven't cleaned my room in a really long time. It's super small, it's insignificant, but it's in my control. And it's something that I can do that immediately makes my life easier and better, and you can see that like my attitude and how I feel about myself will change significantly when I'm in a cleaner space. And that's just an example. You got to do what you want to do. And then we also have this wants to reconnect. This could be someone in your life or some kind of ex in your life that wants to reconnect with you. And I have to be honest, I don't feel like if there's an ex that, you know, is out there and wants to be with you, that you should be with them. I almost feel like that's a test for you. Like if an ex shows up and they're like, oh, like I want to be with you, like have you been, like what's been going on? It's almost like a test from the universe. Like, you still gonna do it? You gonna do that? You gonna put up with them? You gonna do that? You know? And I feel like, you know, once you make these improvements, once you feel like you're not guarded, once you feel like you're really in a place where you feel comfortable with yourself, that is when you are going to be able to be in a really great relationship. But be wary of your exes coming back, group number one. Just be a little wary of that. This is going to be more stuff about your love life. Oh my goodness. Okay. So we have attachment, which to me says you are, you know, you might be attached to a certain idea of love or a certain person, like an ex that might be, you know, let me tell you something, group number one. Sometimes a person is a blockage. And this is something that I have come to grips with. Like, I was stuck in a relationship for a really long time. And even though we weren't in like a literally a romantic relationship, we were at one point, but then, you know, we were still talking every day. And honestly, sometimes they're the blockage. Like I was like, oh, like I must need to heal. I must need to do this. I must need to do that. And sometimes you can dump your energy into someone and nurture a relationship with someone who you're not even in a relationship with, and because you are doing that, they are literally the blockage. Like that person is the blockage. They're the thing that needs to get in the way, which isn't to say that you can never be friends with this person ever again, but sometimes you gotta let somebody go and like come back around to them, because you might be trapped in a cycle with this person. And energy, you only can spend your energy up to a certain point on certain people and certain things. You don't get infinite amount of energies and F's to give. You don't get infinite amounts of that. So if you're spending your energy constantly on someone who is an ex, who, even if it's like I'm spending my energy thinking about them, thinking about reconciliation, thinking about being with them, and you're not even talking to them, you need to redirect that energy towards yourself and redirect that energy somewhere else. Almost like a meditation practice. You catch yourself thinking about this person, you take that energy back. This is, you think about yourself, you think about something else, you know? We have stuck in limbo. This card is about feeling like you're stuck in limbo and you need to break out of a cycle. And then we also have trapped, right? You might be feeling a sense of guilt or a sense of pain over a relationship that might have ended in the past, and it's really blocking you from being able to bring in mature partners. And maybe that's just because you're not ready for that type of relationship yet, but maybe one day you will be. So addressing these issues, addressing some of the things that are showing up in your heart, and addressing how you feel while not being in space with the person who might be causing you those feelings might be your best bet if you want to just pick up and be able to move on with your life, especially in your love life, but your life in general, group number one, but your life in general. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards to just see, you know, the advice and kind of like the send-off, what Spirit wants you to know about your love life. Everything is falling on the floor. Let's see. Okay, so we have the luck for nutmeg, and we have tears. Let's do one more. I'm feeling one more. And then caution. Yeah, I'm glad I did that. So, the best way I want to describe to you where your love life in closing remarks when it comes to your love life group number 1 is that look at this period of time as a great purging period, okay? If you need to cry, cry. If you need to scream, scream. If you need to go out in the mountains and hang out in the nature with bugs and birds and bees and trees, then do that. Purge everything that is keeping you from being able to be in a relationship, especially because I do think that Knight of Cups person in your life, that friend in your life, could be a great fit for you. And you know, you have to kind of deal with what's going on inside of yourself before you can even think to deal with another person on that level. So cry about it, deal with it, feel the emotions, because that's what really gets us stuck. It's like we will do so many things to prevent ourselves from feeling what's inside of us and feeling the pain. And often it's just better to feel the pain. It's just better to feel the pain. It's better to feel the loss, because at least if you're feeling the loss, you're going to get through it. Emotions can only last for so long. You will not feel that pain forever, but it will feel like forever if you keep trying to do things to avoid it, like contacting that person, like distracting yourself from the pain and things of that sort. And then we also have luck and caution. So for me, it's like, I feel like when it comes to the energy of your love life, your luck is going to turn around, but you know, you also need to be careful not to be with people who are, again, immature, because I feel like there's a lot of those kind of swimming around in your life, in your orbit. He's just sniffing around, trying to get as much from you without having to give anything in return. And overall, feel the feelings you're having about your ex, about your person that you're not over. And then from there, allow yourself to be able to be open to the possibility that there may be some friends in your life or some people in your orbit who you may not have expected would be good relationship material, but are. You know, expect the unexpected, group number 1, okay? And that's what I have for you. So I will see you on the next video. Remember to be kind to yourself, remember to be kind to others, and I'll see you next time. Hello, group number 2. Welcome to your reading about what's going on in your love life. What's the 411 in your love life? Just a general. I just got some cards. We're just going to see what is going on. And I rolled the dice here first. We have the Aquarius dice. That means you could be dealing with someone with Aquarius placements, or you might have Aquarius placements. We have the Sun, the 9th house. We have the Lovers dice, and we also have the 4 of Cups. So I'm going to say that you probably are in a relationship, or if you're not, you're just someone who's a little bit like who recently got out of a relationship. But if you are in a relationship, it might be that you're a little bored with your relationship right now. Things are not moving the way that they feel like they should. And this doesn't mean that you have a bad relationship, but you might need to spice some things up. You might need to expand a little bit. Of course, we're going to see a little bit with the cards and everything to see what's confirming what the dice is saying. But with the 9th house, that's about travel and mental expansion, like, you know, expanding what you know about love, about your relationship, being your own individual people. And it's like, if you are in a relationship, it just might be that you and this person need to just kind of be individuals for a little bit so you can come back together. You know, it doesn't always mean it's like the most horrible thing in the world. It just means that you and this person might be just in a place where you need to kind of spice things up a little bit, do something different, get out of the old and boring routine, because you might be bored and you're not being stimulated. Let's see what the tarot has to say. The Queen of Wands. Okay, baddie. And the 7 of Swords. Okay. Okay, y'all, so we got the Queen of Wands, okay? This could be you or the other person, but the Queen of Wands is the energy of, like, just, like, I like it. It's like, you know, just baddie energy. Being your most attractive self, being your most creative self. And then the Seven of Swords is usually about either lying to yourself about something or someone lying to you. I would be very careful with that kind of energy. If you are in a relationship, you might be feeling in your intuition that they're not being 100% honest with you. Or you may not be being 100% honest with yourself. Like, you might be bored in this relationship, and instead of like moving on from the relationship, you're kind of staying just because you want to stay and you don't want to be alone. And that doesn't mean that the relationship is doomed, but that like you might need to have some pretty heart-to-heart honest conversations about what is really going on inside and what you're really feeling inside, you know? This is going to be, these red cards are going to be the other person in your life. I definitely feel like you're in a relationship, and if you're not in a relationship, you're about to be in one very, very soon. And then these are what they like about you and like your energy in the relationship, okay? So we have the King. Now, in relationships, this tends to be being with someone who is just very dominant, very like benevolent, loves to spoil people, loves to be the kind of person who is in charge. We also have the Lover card, which again, like, I really feel like it's been confirming that you are in a relationship multiple times in this reading. But again, if you're not, you know, this might not be the pile for you, to be honest, but you know, stick around, we never know. I still got a lot of cards to pull. This is someone who is really built for partnership, someone who wants to be in a partnership, almost to the point where maybe this person, it could be even a little bit of a detriment, because maybe this person feels like they can't offer anything or they can't do anything if they're not in a relationship, so they're very uncomfortable with that. And then we also have the Knight, which is about romance and chivalry and like just wanting to take care of other people and like be their knight in shining armor. Like, I really feel like your partner or this person you're dealing with like wants to save you, and it might be even frustrated because if you have that Queen of Wands energy, you're not looking for anybody to save you. You're looking for someone to be your equal. You're not looking for anyone to save you. Save you? What they're gonna save you from? You by the time someone messed with you, you know, before they even get a chance to save you, you probably already beat their butt. Like, that's Queen of Wands energy, you know? And then for you, they really enjoy your confidence. And again, this feels so Queen of Wands to me, like even like the color palette. Like, it feels so Queen of Wands for me. You just have like that fiery like energy. And then you're also romantic, and then we have elegance as well. This person really looks at you as like their ideal partner in every way, shape, and form. They look at you as the perfect like feminine energy. And they just want to be everything to you, you know? And that again could be a good thing or a bad thing. In some ways, having that kind of romanticism is really beautiful and like something straight out of a storybook, but it isn't always the most realistic for a long-term relationship. You can't keep up with that. You can't keep up with all that type of romance for a super long-term relationship. When you're in a long-term relationship, there's a lot of downtime, there's a lot of quiet time, there's a lot of business as usual. And, you know, not having that kind of stimulation doesn't necessarily mean that the relationship is doomed, but that both of you might need to come to the understanding that being in a relationship isn't always about constant romance or just like the idea of like constant euphoria all the time. And sometimes it's just about eating Chinese on the couch and like being okay with that, you know? So that might be something you guys need to talk about. Let's see the energy of the y'all. Okay, if you're not in a relationship and you pick this pile, I want to say this is just not your pile, because this is the pile for people who are already in a relationship or dating someone or like already established. Okay, this person is a soulmate to you. This person is someone who is meant for you on a lot of different levels, you know. And then we also have the past life love, so it's like you guys, you've been through this before. Like, you've definitely dated each other in other lifetimes. You're just coming back together, and that's super beautiful. Again, is it perfect? No. Are there some things I think you guys need to talk about? Yes. But should you be worried? I don't think so. I think you found someone who is really like a good fit for you overall. We have the Spirit of the Staircase, And then we also have the fate, time, and destiny. Okay, yeah, like I said, this person is definitely meant for you. Someone that is like a soulmate to you, someone you already came in here with a soul contract with. You know, I think the issue with you guys is that you're looking for the next thing. Like, you know, what is the next thing in this relationship? What are we doing next? Like, climbing the staircase together. It's like you're looking for the new thing and looking for the other thing, and the other person might be dragging their feet a little bit about that, like mostly because they might want to be the leader in the relationship, and just because you want to ascend doesn't necessarily mean that they're ready to do that. And you know, my advice for that is just, if you're in a relationship and you feel like the other person is lagging behind, give yourself the utmost permission to move forward and learn things as much as you want. And I find that 9 times out of 10 people will follow based off of that more than they will if you are nagging them about it or trying to do it together with them. Like, it's okay for you to pursue your ascension, your self-actualization. It's okay for you to go and move on with your life. You don't have to move away from this person, but it's okay for you to do the things that you want to do. You don't need someone's permission to do that. Unless they're being unsupportive, and then you have a whole other different thing. But if they're not being unsupportive, like, live your life. We have once commitment, wandering eye, and depression. Okay. Now we're getting into the nitty-gritty of what's going on, right? So it seems like you might want to be married or move forward or want a deeper commitment, and this person might be dragging their feet a little bit. There might be some fear. We have 7, and that also corresponds to the 7 of Swords, okay? There might be a little bit of a fear that someone might be wandering their eye or looking at other people, which I can tell you this person's probably not doing that, but the fear might be very present there. And it's not so much that they're looking at other people or lying to you or there's a third party, but rather this person just might not be in a great mental space. They might be very like chaotic in the fact that when they're on, it's like amazing, but when they're off, they are just off. They're like not doing anything, you know? And I think overall that this connection is a good one, but again has some small issues. And if this person does have a wandering eye, or they are talking to other people and you don't want them to be talking to other people, that might be something you need to address like right away, like right now. You know, don't hold back on that. But it's not, I don't personally think it's that. I think it's more that this person is just off right now. Like, they're not in the greatest mental space, and because of that, it's like, it feels like they might be hiding something, and they might not be hiding something. They might just not be in the good space in general. Alright, and we have these ones. Okay, addicted to toxicity, justifying behaviors. So I think that you gotta be careful with sometimes when you want to have conversations in a relationship with someone, you might find yourself justifying someone's behavior. You might find yourself defending them because you don't want to offend them, because and also there might be a little bit of cognitive dissonance there, you know. And also, you might have been in a lot of toxic relationships. They may have been in a lot of toxic relationships before, and you still have behaviors and little patterns from those relationships that are really affecting this relationship, that you guys really need to talk about it. No one needs to be justifying anything that might be like a toxic behavior. You just need to really have that conversation and rip the band-aid off and really just talk about how you feel if you feel like this person is messing up in certain ways, and vice versa. It's never going to get solved if you never talk about it. You're never going to know how far you guys will go if you are too afraid to tell the truth about your own emotions, and vice versa. We also have the possibilities card, which is about there being a world of potential in a relationship. There being just so many different ways that it can go that it's like, you know, you don't really know what's going to happen. And in this case, I just really feel like you guys need to have that conversation. Where are we going? What are we doing? What's this relationship look like? Are we getting married? Blah, blah, blah. Like, whatever is the important value for you, you need to be having that conversation with that person, and you can't just ignore it, because that is how you're going to lose out on a good relationship. And for all you know, they could be open to it depending on the way that you go about talking to them about it. Because you come at someone and you're like, you messed up everything, you suck, blah blah blah, like most people don't respond well to that kind of criticism. But if you have an honest, vulnerable conversation with someone, a lot of people like, and you lead with how something is making you feel and how something would make you feel amazing if it changed. If you lead with that, a lot of the times people really do respond to that very well. Okay, final thoughts and final portion of this reading. Some advice and the energy moving forward. So we have Dispirited, Binding, and Sweetness. Aww. So don't get discouraged. Don't feel like because there might be some issues that it's going to ruin everything. I feel like in the past that might have been how relationships are and have been for you, but that certainly does not mean that, you know, that's what's going to happen here. Then we also have Binding, which is about coming together and working together to have a good solution and to essentially be on the same page, right? And that's going to cause sweetness. Moving forward, it'll be very sweet and you'll be able to kind of get your groove back a little bit in this relationship, so long as you're being vulnerable, having honest conversations, and not dismissing toxic or crappy behaviors and ignoring them for fear that the person may leave you, for the person may not want to be with you anymore because you mentioned that they're doing something that just isn't appropriate or isn't, you know, good in the relationship. Have those tough conversations and see where it goes, because ultimately I think it's going to lead to a good place and being in a good place. Okay, that's what I have for you, group number 2. Thank you for joining me. Please remember to be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and I will see you in the next video. Group number 3. What have you been going through? What have you been going through? Straight up. Okay, we have the High Priestess, the South Node, the 12th house. I don't know what you're going through, but I know that it has been a incredibly challenging time for you, especially in regards to mental health and spiritual awakening. I wouldn't be surprised if you wake up some days and you're like, am I crazy? Like, what is going on? Like, why am I feeling this way? Why am I having this way? It's because you are very talented and very gifted with spirit. And this is a love reading. This is supposed to be about your love life, but spirit was like, I just want to let you know that you are on the right path. Okay, you are making the right decisions in your life when it comes to your spiritual journey and your mental health, and that is just more important than your love life right now. That message, I had to get that message out, you know. We also have Cancer, which is a very intuitive sign. It's a sign that's very much connected to spirit as well, and it's all about being a healer, an emotional healer. And then we also have the Ace of Wands. So I feel like you've been going through this period of time in your life where you have been very confused, very intense, been going through a lot emotionally, been really in touch with your spiritual side, even a little bit against your will. And your intuition has just been like screaming at you to do certain things, and it doesn't make sense, but it's leading to this Ace of Wands moment where you finally get your passion and that spark back. Because I feel like for you, group number 3, I gotta be honest, I really do feel like these last either few years or months have felt like such a drain on your psyche, and it's like you're waiting to feel alive again. Almost like, when is this spark gonna happen where I'm gonna feel like I'm in it again? Oh honey, it's coming. It's very much coming. Like, that spark is coming. So you wait. You ever seen the Hamilton? Just you wait. That's you. That's gonna be you. That's gonna be you. But let's see what the cards have to say. Alright, we have the Hanged Man and the 5 of Swords. Okay, so the Hangman is about a stagnation of energy. This is about you kind of like, I always think about the Hangman as when you go out of your way to kind of be in the sunken place. That's what I call it, the sunken place, where you go and you retreat to yourself and you're like, let me reflect and think about everything and just live in this stagnation. Like there's nothing of importance happening. There's nothing that I'm going to do that's going to move things forward. I'm just going to stay here for a bit and rest. And that's okay. That's okay. I don't know what you were going through in your last love life or what's been going on with your love life. I really do feel like your love life has been a little bit of a challenge. We have the 5 of Swords, and I'm not gonna lie, I feel like somebody probably did you dirty. They probably did some things in a relationship that were very traumatizing and very intense, and you really had to step back and be like, you know what? I'm gonna deal with me for a little bit. I'm gonna deal with me for a little bit. I'm not gonna be dealing with you no more. I'm gonna be dealing with me. And that was not for naught. You know, because with the, like again, with the Ace of Wands, I feel like that wasn't for nothing. I feel like you're at a place where it's like, okay, I did that. I'm okay. We're okay. We can kind of move forward. So this is going to be the kind of energy and the people that are in your life, and these black cards are going to be the energy you put out in your love life and your beautiful, seductive, and wonderful qualities, okay? So we have the Messiah, the Advocate, and the Avenger, okay? So you may have been dealing with someone who had a little bit of a victim complex, but and also someone who really gets like angry about just the injustices of the world. These might be the kind of people that you are attracted to. And then we also have this Advocate energy, which is all about someone who lights you up and creates a spark within you to go after certain things, you know, and that might be what you need, or the kind of people who are interested in you right now. And then for you, we have you having beautiful eyes, socially aware. That's interesting. And then bold and daring, okay? So I feel like you're attracted to people who really care about what's going on in society, because you really care about what's going on in society. You're very socially aware. There are a lot of people who think you have freaking gorgeous eyes, and it doesn't necessarily mean they have to be of a certain color, but just very captivating eyes, the way you stare at people. Do you have Scorpio placements? You let me know if you have Scorpio placements. But and then we have bold and daring. I really feel like when you say stuff, you mean it. And that's so attractive about you. People just find that to be really, really attractive about you. But let's go ahead and see what's going on in your actual love life. Okay, so we have the Go Slow card, and then we also have the Finances card, and then we have the Spirit of Manifestation and the Spirit of the Fox, okay? So when it comes to you being in a relationship, group number 3, this is what you need to do. You've taken the time to relax, to chill out, to deal with yourself, and you did a great job, and you're feeling okay again. Now is the time for you to slowly go out there and put yourself out there. You want to deal with your finances, because that's coming up in this reading. There might be some financial hardship happening that you need to deal with. And then we also have the Spirit of Alchemy and the Spirit of the Fox. This is about being the ultimate strategist. This is about being the person who really is going out of their way to strategize and bring love into their life, but not just any love into their life, the person that you're going to end up with forever, you know, the person that you guys are going to be building a life together. So this is about you not putting up with people's crap, not putting up with anyone's who isn't going to inspire you and make you feel wonderful about yourself. And you have the manifestation ability to do it. You can bring in exactly the kind of person that you're in, because you are a clean slate, especially after everything you've been through and the fact that you've actually did the work. You are a clean slate right now. You can bring in anyone to you at this point if you really wanted to. You really just have to be in a place where you are just being discerning, because I do feel like there's going to be a lot of people who are interested in you when you're fresh and off of this situation, okay? Let's see what else we have. We have undecided, avoidance, and temporary, okay? So I do feel like you've been avoiding dating. I do feel like you've been avoiding like opening yourself up to other people, because you really just don't want to be hurt again, which is perfectly fair, and there's nothing like wrong with that or anything. We also have the undecided, which to me is like you're not really sure where you want to go or really what you even need in a relationship anymore. Like I feel like you've been through so much, or like what do I even need? Like what am I even looking for? And that's okay. Like it's okay for you to feel undecided. It's okay for you to feel like you don't have all of the answers. The best thing that you can do is just open yourself up to love and see who's going to come in. And then make a decision based off of that. You know, you don't always have to know exactly what you're looking for to get it, okay? We have one goal, two ways, and lusting, okay? I feel like there's going to be a point in the near future when it comes to your love life where you're going to have to ask yourself, is this lust or is this love? That you might be feeling really crazy about someone, but it might just be because of the physical and not necessarily their personality. So that's what I'm saying, like that discernment is going to be very, very important when it comes to your love life. We also have the turning point card, which is about realizing that you have not been in the best place emotionally with someone, that somebody in your life needs to just get the cut off. I don't know if you're still dealing with this person, like hopefully you already did cut this person off, but if you haven't, you know who I'm talking about. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. The ex, the, you know, that F-boy, the F-girl, like whoever, get rid of them. They're not helping you and they're never going to help you. Get rid of them, please. They're not helping you. Okay, and then we also have the one goal, two ways. So it says you could be attracted to someone who does things very differently from you, but if you learn to communicate, you'll make it work. So you might be attracted to someone or somebody coming into your life who is just like the opposite of you in a lot of ways, and that might be very, very intimidating, but Spirit's actually saying that ultimately that's kind of what you need. You need someone that's going to balance you out, because you might be someone who's a little bit more on the extreme side with the bold and daring and the Ace of Wands, and like all of these things are just very intense. So if the other person isn't as intense, that's not a bad thing. That means that they are probably going to be balancing you out. That means that they're probably going to bring out other sides of you that have been left dormant, because that's what people do. They bring out that other side of you. You know, maybe if you've been hard, they'll bring out a softer side. If you've been soft, they'll bring out a harder side. Things like that. So if you're looking for someone, you're really going to be looking for someone who brings out a different side of you that has felt like it's dormant, and someone who might do things very differently from you, okay? So let's look into the future. We're gonna do some advice, and we're gonna just see what's going, like your love life going forward from here. So we have peace, which I love for you, faithfulness, and ambrosia. So going forward, group number 3, I really do feel like your love life is going to be picking up. It's going to be something that's not nearly as intense or toxic as you are used to. I really feel like you're bringing in someone who's very faithful, and someone who is just going to bring that sweetness to you, that loving energy, like really just love you back to health. And you need to be ready to accept that kind of love. Because I want to say that for you, group number 3, you really haven't had that before. At least not in a relationship context. You might have had that with your friends, but not in a relationship context. Like, you're really looking for someone to be your peace and to make you feel good. And they might do it in ways that are just like so opposite to what you're used to. And that's perfectly okay, group number 3. That is perfectly okay. You have done all this work because things are now going to be moving very quickly and moving forward very intensely in your love life. So it wasn't just for nothing. Trust me on that. You're bringing in a great relationship. You just need to be ready to receive that love, because once you have that love, it's going to be very intense, but in a very different way. It's going to be like, oh, I'm not up at 3 a.m. with anxiety because of this person. Like, what do I do about that? And you just need to be ready for that kind of love, okay? That's what I have for you, group number 3. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching this video. And remember to be kind to yourself and to be kind to others. And I will see you on the next one. Alright, group number 4, this is your reading. I forgot to roll the dice before like I did with everyone else, so you're special. You get to see me roll the dice. So let's see what is going on with your love life. We got the High Priestess too. and the King of Swords, 9th house, and Gemini. Okay, you might have Gemini placements, and we have Saturn in 9th house, the King of Swords and the High Priestess. So I really feel like your love life is a little crazy right now, a little chaotic, a little challenging. You might be dating and may have been dealing with multiple people and trying to figure out like who, you know, you want to end up with, and you just might be a little bit confused and your intuition might be really yelling at you about certain people. We also have this King of Swords energy, and that might be the person that you're dealing with. Your person might have Gemini placements. They could also have Aquarius placements. I see this person as someone who might be a little bit cool and chill and down to earth and like much more like just really like almost cold to your hot, you know. So there might be someone in your life who wants to be with you, but you would really never know because they just don't communicate that way. They might be a little bit more like, I am around you and I am spending time with you, as opposed to doing what I normally would be doing, and like you're supposed to pick up on the fact that that's because that person likes you, which you just may not know because they're a little bit cooler, a little bit chiller, a little bit more downplayed, and they're not like super flashy with their emotions. All right, but let's see what the cards have to say. We're starting out here with the general energy. We have the Lovers and the Magician, babe. Okay, manifesting a lover, manifesting someone into your life, strategizing to get someone into your life, being able to really bring in love. You are hot right now. There, you are going to be attracting a lot of attention right now from people. And you might even be dating someone. I wouldn't be surprised, but the energy of your love life is really gorgeous and really beautiful and just like full of possibilities. Like you could be with anybody right now. Not anybody, but like you could truly, like you have real viable options showing up in your life. And I love that for you, group number 4. These 3 red cards are going to be the kind of people who are showing up in your life. And then this is going to be what people find attractive about you. All right, so we have T's, we have spiritual connection and femininity. Okay, you're really bringing in, like, you are probably very funny to listen to, and you probably tease people a little bit. Like you're just like, oh, like, you know, you're a little bit coy a bit, maybe play a little bit of hot and cold. Like you got the seduction game on lock, even though you might not think you do, but you kind of do. You also have beautiful feminine energy that people are very attracted to. And then also spiritual connection. You're not looking just for someone to be just like someone you're playing around with. You're looking for a real serious relationship, and people recognize that about you and they think it's really beautiful. For the people you have in your life, we have goddess energy, and I don't know if, you know, you are someone who is feminine who's also into other feminine people. It doesn't matter the gender. It could be man, woman, non-binary, just someone who is also just very feminine and takes care of themselves and is just very expressive and sensual. Again, doesn't matter if man, woman, whatever. We also have the gossip card. So you might be like, the person in your life that's interested in you might be someone who talks a lot. And is just someone who you can talk to about pretty much anything, and they're gonna honor what you say and keep it a secret. Like they're a good secret keeper. And then we also have shape-shifting, and this is about dealing with someone who doesn't have a real defined way that they view themselves. They change their opinions, their minds, the way they look, the way they are all the time. And this isn't necessarily a bad thing. It just means that you're not really going to know what to expect. They're not like this concrete energy where you could just put a label onto them and they're going to fit that perfectly. They're a little bit all over the place, and I think that is something that makes it kind of interesting and fun. But, you know, you could tell me, group number 4. You can tell me, right? So let's see. So we have the time apart card and the put away the computer. And I'm going to get the spirit as well. Alright, so we have the spirit of the dwelling place and then the spirit of the clover. So right now, you might have been taking a little bit of time apart to maybe date other people. Maybe you are in a situation where you're a little bit separated from someone and you're not really sure like where things are going. And then we also have the put away the computer card. which is about focusing more on the physical, tangible world and a little bit less on being online and things like that. We have the Spirit of the Clover, which is about having luck and abundance, and then the Spirit of the Dwelling Place, which is about home, structure, and foundation. So with all of this put together, what's going on in your love life right now is that you might be taking some time apart for some people to be able to explore yourself sensually and dating other people so that you could find someone you can really build a home with, because maybe you haven't been able to do that in the past with other people, and you're at the point where you're like, I want structure, I want a real relationship, and I want to I want abundance. You also might want to have kids too, or something like that. And maybe you're someone who worked a lot. Maybe you were someone who really put a lot into financial stability and being able to be financially stable, as well as just stable in general. And now it's like, now I want to work on the emotional, I want to work on the being in love part, I want to work on the being in a relationship part, and you're now focusing all your intention on that. And people have noticed that you have been looking, and you got a lot of people who are like, oh, like so and so is single, oh okay, well, you know what, let me go ahead and shoot my shot real quick. You know, you have that person who is kind of coming up. Let's see what we have here. What did I just say about you want to have kids? Will have children. We have misunderstanding, and then we have success. So maybe this person you've taken a break from, just maybe they didn't want to have kids, and maybe that's the thing that, you know, you guys are disagreeing about. We also, like, we have this misunderstanding card, so it definitely makes me feel like there are people in your life where you were dating with them and you wanted to date them seriously, but they weren't taking you seriously, and you're not the kind of person who's going to stick around for that. You're like, you know what, how about I just date other people and just do other things? Like, I don't have to keep dealing with you. I'm independent. I don't need you. Bye. You know, you're already a successful person, okay? And I think that is really attracting a lot of people to you. They see your success, and there are a lot of people who are willing to go there with you and to build that kind of life with you. And you just kind of have to let them in and just like choose the right kind of partner. Because right now is the time to do it. Like, to be honest, I feel like with a lot of the other piles, it was like either in a relationship or it just wasn't really the right time to date. But for you, it absolutely 100% is. You should be going out there and dating. You should be talking to people. You should be getting to know people. You're in a great space to do it. You're okay. You know, you will attract someone who is wonderful right now if you concentrate on getting to know new people, or even re-knowing people who you might have been dealt with in the past, or people who are like your friends and things like that. Like, you have a bit of a dating pool, and this is a good time for you to be dating and to be exploring that. Alright, we have unexpected events. See, this is what makes me think you're like separated from someone right now. So-called love. Okay, so you are in a place where we have that time apart, and then we also had the separation card, which makes me feel like you're taking a break from someone and maybe dating and dealing with other people, or vice versa. I do feel like there's going to be someone very unexpected that shows up in your life very strongly, very intensely, very much like, you know, kind of out of the blue, like a lightning bolt, and like things are going to hit it off with you. The person that you're like separated from or taking a break from, I don't think it's them. Like, if I'm gonna be honest, I don't see you and that person getting back together. I see there being another person in another relationship that really just like makes that, like, blows that other relationship out of the water. You're gonna be like, oh wow, like this is what relationships can feel like. I really see that for you, because I feel like the connection you have with the other person was a little bit more karmic, a little bit more like, I'm supposed to learn something from this person, but this isn't my forever person. This is just someone that I'm supposed to learn with and do those things with. And I feel like because of that, when this other person shows up in your life, it's gonna be like out of nowhere. And again, they might be subtle, like with the King of Wands energy or King of Swords energy. They might be subtle. They may not be sitting here, you know, telling you how beautiful and wonderful and perfect you are 24 hours a day. They might be like not showering you with compliments all the time, but they'll listen to you. They'll have real conversations with you, and they'll be engaged with you. So yeah, this is a good thing. This is a good time for you to date and to explore and to really see what's out there, group number 4. Now let's see some advice and your love life in the future, you know, little final remarks here and all that good stuff. We have gossip. Gossip don't come up twice. Romance and courage, okay? Just a small warning, because gossip came up twice in this reading, that there might be people in your life who are just talking filth about you, especially around your love life. You might have made a lot of people jealous, or even that person you're taking a break from is just like, now it's just like talking about you right now, because they're like, oh, I can't believe so-and-so is like going on all these dates and they're talking to all these people, wah, wah. You know, like they might be, you know, some people who are just kind of like chit-chatting and talking smack about you a little bit. We also have the rose for romance. Again, we talked about the fact that I do think this is a perfect time for you to go out and meet someone, because the energy is right for that. And then we also have thyme, which is about having courage and putting yourself out there even when you feel a little bit uncomfortable, okay? So F the people who are gossiping about you, who are talking smack about you, who are being jerks about what you have going on, like they're not even worth dealing with. And focus more on what makes you happy and dating people and getting to know people, because that's all that matters. And all that matters is that you're happy. Like at the end of the day, those people who are talking crap about you, I mean, like if you have enough time to talk a bunch of crap about someone and their love life, it's probably because your love life is very boring and you don't have anything going on, okay? Happy people are not sitting here talking crap about everybody. Unhappy people do that. So don't worry about them. Worry about yourself and open up your heart, because there's going to be someone coming into your life who's going to be a great fit for you. Group number 4. Okay, that's what I have for you. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being here. Remember to be kind to yourself. Remember to be kind to others. And I will see you on the next one.